anytime you're getting out there in the world and doing something new, don't be afraid to suck.
Yeah, embrace the suck. Isn't that what they say?
Embrace the suck. And then eventually you will lead the suck.
Yeah. Then you'll be sucking.
Yeah, then you'll...
Whoa, wait. Wait a minute.
Don't be sucked on.
Wait.
You do the suck.
Welcome back to Just Really Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tom.
And it's been fucking 9 weeks since we've done this.
It's only been 2, but it does feel like it's been quite a while.
And it's our 3rd year.
This is, we actually missed our 3rd anniversary of doing this show by 4 days. September 11th, 2021. That would be 3 years ago. That was the first episode of Just Really Blended. Some of you have been with us from the beginning.
That's crazy. We were
Some
drunk.
Of you are just joining us now.
At my daughter's birthday.
Well, we
weren't drunk, actually.
We were still remarkable dads, but...
We weren't drunk though. We were buzzing.
No. We were drunk enough to be willing to record our voices and post it for the world, but not so drunk that we couldn't operate a phone in order to do that.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that started all this.
When you think about it, like how crazy it was that we just, let's just start this.
Well, we had talked about it. Yeah, you would always bring up that you did a podcast years ago when you lived in that townhouse.
Yeah, called The Townhouse.
Which is a pretty awesome name, by the way. And then you would talk about doing that, and then like, man, that sounds really cool. And then you talking about wanting to do another one. I was like, that'd be pretty cool. And then we were just sitting there at that birthday party.
Yeah, downstairs.
And it's like, why aren't we doing it? We were actually upstairs, if you remember. In the beginning, when we were having the conversation, decided to do it. We were by the pool.
Oh, yeah. And then we went downstairs.
But then we were like, so we went down to the basement and then started recording on a cell phone. And now here we are with a
was your pull up
P8
then?
Soundboard. Yeah, I think that was the first year that we had it. Yeah, they just finished it.
Oh, okay.
They just finished it. So it was the first season we had it. That was the year Elena and I both got ear infections because I didn't realize that we didn't actually have like the chlorinator working. Oh. So the chemicals were in, so it looked really clear, but it was not making active chlorine. Oh. So I got a little bug in my ear. It hurt. It hurt really bad.
Dude, I don't know the last time I've had an ear infection.
Well, I hadn't had one since I was a child. So when we went into the ER at like 11 at night, because both of us, our ears were killing us, we went to the ER, and the gal at the front counter would there's a lady in front of us that gave like a novel of why she was there. And the lady was clearly like, I don't care. I just need to know why, specifically.
Yeah, that's how they are, though.
But it was a poor old lady. I mean, she just needed a friend.
Boo-hoo.
But then we walk up there, and I look at her, and I go, I'm dying. We're dying. We have ear infections. And she goes, okay.
Here's some drops. Get out.
And so we went in, and the doctor gave us drops. He was really cool. He was a swimmer. So he when you meet a doctor that talks to you more than they need to, like they give you
rarely,
but you meet those doctors in a blue moon, and they're just like, oh, I'm a swimmer. You know what you need? You need to get them drops that you put in, the alcohol drops. You drip them in, and your ear dries out. No problem there.
I think we used those before because you guys still had some.
Yeah, well, I was like paranoid for a while. Now we got the chlorine flowing, but before that, it was not. Oof, yeah, that was scary because it's crystal clean water. That's how you know when you're out in the mountains and you're like, I'm thirsty. You might get a butt bug or something.
Oh, shit. You won't be thirsty.
Stuff. You ain't going to be thirsty.
Well, when we went hiking, some of that water was super. It was like glacial runoff.
Cold.
It's just glacial water. But
so delicious. But we use those suck bottles. With
the Life Straw?
The Life Straw, yeah.
A suck bottle.
I would squeeze it so hard because I was so thirsty. I blasted it apart one time.
Blasted it in your
I was like
face.
An animal. Yeah, man. Every time you come across a stream.
That's crazy though to think about where we've come in the 3 years.
Yeah, right.
Now we got a little tiny studio going on right now.
We got 2 screens. We have lights. We've been through 3 studios.
Got to be 4
maybe
probably.
A 4th.
It started on this little phone.
It started on a phone, and arguably the quality was probably about the same.
Actually, the phone quality, I think our first episode, because it was just an audio episode, was actually very clear.
Right.
But then when we did video I actually watched our first video. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just got a clip on YouTube.
Sure, it was great.
Yeah, the sound was a little terrible.
Yeah, we had some learning to do, but that's like a metaphor for life.
For real.
Like you don't wake up with a Zoom podcast P8 and a Sony camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to work for that stuff, and you got to learn what it is that you need. Anytime you're getting out there in the world and doing something new, don't be afraid to suck.
Yeah, embrace the suck. Isn't that what they say?
Embrace the suck, and then eventually you will lead the suck.
Yeah. Then you'll be sucking.
Yeah, then you'll.
Whoa, wait. Wait a minute.
Don't be sucked on.
Wait.
You do the suck.
No, you want to be sucked on. What are you talking about?
First you got to suck.
Anyway. No.
Then you get it.
No.
Anyway. Yeah.
It's been good. It's been a good couple weeks.
I agree.
I've been just working, doing site visits, so I've been out and about. Those are always interesting. I have to do like notes now. My boss is having me take notes and like scan people's inventory just randomly to see how well they're keeping their inventory. So I mean, some of the stuff's not a terrible thing.
Just trying to make records
a good data
little
points
more like
more
solid.
official.
So that, I gotcha. All right.
So my first two have been good just because I already knew. I mean, the two texts I was like, I wasn't going in thinking this is gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Coming up, one's gonna be kind of rough. I already know.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I already know it's gonna be like.
Have you talked to them ahead of time just to say, hey, just so you know?
Nah, I don't do it. They know I'm coming, but I mean, they know what I'm gonna do. So
okay,
but
that's so they have been given a heads up, like, hey, these will be looked at.
There's only so many times, and I think this goes for just even parenting. There's only so many times you can tell someone the same thing over and over. Hey, you need to do your homework, right?
That was all I was asking is, were they aware that this was the thing? So like, hey, get your house in order.
Well, so for me, like one of the nauseating things that I say when I do like one of my tech meetings is make sure, inventory, we got to do our inventory. It's important. And it is important, inventory, we get audited and all that crap. Super fun stuff I know to talk about.
Audits. So you get a whole episode on audits.
So let's go into audits. So audits, no, I'm just kidding. But no, it's just like you tell them so much over and over, like eventually it's like,
it's on you.
It gets,
That's a write-up, buddy. That's a,
well, it comes out
freaking
write-up though.
If it doesn't get ridden at?
Oh, dude, I'll be the one to get in trouble. So this is how I get parented by my boss, I guess you could say, is when they don't do their job, I get in trouble for it.
Right.
Just like when I was growing up, there'd be times if my brother and sister didn't do their chores, I got in trouble for it.
Yeah, you're the boss, man.
So it's like,
well,
I can't force them.
Right.
You can only, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. You can only lead a horse to water.
Yeah.
But then eventually you got to drown that bitch and make them drink it.
Then you got to force their head down in there and make them take some gulps.
You're going to take that.
Or drown them, one or the other.
Hey, if I got to, I got to. Me before you, butter.
Man, that's not fun. I'd be pretty pissed if I had more like, hey guys, just so you know, this is really important, so I do expect this to be done.
Yeah.
And I expect it to be like done all the time.
It's a yearly thing.
And then but they should be doing it like weekly,
proactively.
Right? They should be every time something changes, they should be logging that and keeping it up to date, so it's not.
And granted, some of that stuff is very in the moment. It's not on your mind because you're getting things done, you're fixing things,
you're busy with
and so a lot of people they'll write things down and be like, I'm going to do that later.
Right.
In reality, most of us ain't. They're not going to. I know I don't. There's been times that I'm guilty.
So then later, how do they consolidate that? This is a super exciting episode, guys. Just hang on to your chairs.
Later,
I'm just so confused.
If they do it right, I mean, if they're just like life, if you're proactive in doing homework, doing anything, you're gonna set time for that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just like anything else.
So they get back to the little office. They sit down. They're like, okay, I'm gonna log.
Yeah.
This keyboard went to this place. Like new PC.
Yeah. Anything with what we call an asset tag.
Yeah. So, not keyboards. Fuck keyboards.
No. Keyboards. Anything under $100 doesn't get asset.
You guys heard that? Steal everything you want for under $100.
Dude, I get to the point when I go to these sites. like I'm just like throw this shit away.
We don't.
They're like people
condone
want to
stealing and
save like keyboards. They want to save like power bricks and I'm like, just throw it away. There's no need. We're not going to ever use these again.
Right. Yeah. They're ordering
obsolete.
New ones. Right. They're going to be actually probably cause more tech issues down the road. They have to go in and solve the software issue.
Yeah. Boring, fun stuff. But I'm trying to make it relatable to life, though.
Yeah. But I want to actually shift gears and talk about horticulture for a little while.
Okay.
So, no, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, plants? Isn't that plants?
It is, I believe. Yeah.
Or horticulture.
So, I mean, plants are cool, but I'm not going to talk about them here.
Dude, we have so many plants.
You do. I'm actually jealous. I'm a plant person, much like Alicia is.
Yeah.
I really like house plants, outside plants.
She actually will take time and she'll like repot things.
Yeah,
and
it's good. I mean, yeah, they get root balled in there, and you got to give them more space to grow.
I've killed fucking. What are those plants that you don't really have to water?
Succulents. I suck at succulents, big time. I guess we are going to talk some horticulture.
Yeah, horticulture.
You know, succulents are the ones that you get. They're not quite a cactus, but they're not quite a regular plant. They're like they look like a camel. The camel of plants, right?
They look alien.
They hold all the moisture inside. And I don't know, man. Like, it'll get really dried out, and I put water in it, and then they just shrivel up and die. Or I don't water them frequently enough, and they shrivel up and die. I can't figure it out.
You know what a succulent looks like to me? It looks like something if I went to another planet.
Yeah, right.
That would be the planet.
Like their trees would just be a giant succulent.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
They look cool.
Right. It's like a Joshua tree.
Dude,
maybe.
So I seen one up close.
Yeah.
Joshua tree.
Yeah.
When we went
like
to Utah.
Spiky or something, right?
Dude, super spiky.
Yeah, scary.
They're like a Bucket. That's like one of his favorite plants. Is a Joshua tree. So when we were in Utah a few years back, me, Bucket, and I want to say Cade, we all went. I forget where we went, but we went to this Joshua tree area, and it's just, I mean, it's tons.
The national park, right?
They're beautiful. I mean, they're cool. I mean, for how ugly they are, but they're kind of beautiful in a sense.
They're beautiful because of their survival ability.
Yeah, I mean, and there's. I would hate to get pushed in one of those bitches, dude. You were gonna get fucked up.
Is it spiked all over it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I
don't imagine being a very
that?
large tree either. Like, are they?
Like, you can eat cactus. Can you eat it? I wonder if you can eat a Joshua tree.
Well, I don't know. Is it woody?
It reminds me of cactus a little bit.
So one thing very sad.
It looks like it could be soft a little.
I've read up on like North Korea, and you know, like they're pretty poor as a nation.
Yeah.
Right. And they put a lot of people in prison for really stupid things.
Okay.
People have been so hungry there at times that they'll take the bark off trees and boil it and eat it.
I've seen that in like Alone in some of those shows.
And it's like, it doesn't actually do anything for you. It doesn't count as food. It just makes you feel full so that you don't want to eat.
I think it has. I think some of it has like vitamins and shit.
Some might. The ones that they were eating, according to the book I read, Eyes of the Tailless Animals. It's a hell of a read. It's very sad, but
sounds like it.
Yeah, man, it's pretty wild. I don't know if a Joshua tree would give you much substance for life.
I don't know. I tried cactus for the first time. I went to this Mexican restaurant, and it was like a taco truck, I guess.
Yeah,
and so
the round little cactus piece.
Yeah, what do they call it? Nepal or? It's all I know. It's in that game Loteria. It's one of the cards.
Oh,
but it's a cactus. And it was just like a strip of one.
Okay.
It's actually not bad. I was surprised.
I can imagine it would be like biting into a leaf.
It's like biting into asparagus. That's the best comparison.
Okay, I can see that. Kind of like stringy a little bit.
Yeah, it just has that same consistency.
Like
if you like asparagus,
is the flavor similar to asparagus?
I think it's not as.
Did they put seasonings and stuff on it?
This one, I don't know if they did. It was very soft like asparagus.
Okay.
But it was surprisingly, I didn't mind it at all.
Yeah,
I've never tried it, and so my tech was like, "Come, you should try some." I'm like, "Fuck it, yeah, I'll throw that on there."
Why not?
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
I'm allergic and I die. Oh, big deal. My throat closes
According to
up.
my brother-in-law, what's worse gonna happen?
I always feel like
or you can't walk anymore.
I feel like I can do a trach. You know that? I've seen enough shows where I can do a tracheotomy or whatever.
Oh, sure. I mean, just stab somebody in the neck.
I keep missing.
You know what's so funny? I love it in like CPR stuff, whatever, the emergency crap that you have to get the card for. when they tell you like you shouldn't do anything above your level of training. And it's like, well, no shit. I'm not actually going to cut someone's throat to try to shove a pipe down it.
Well, don't have.
Can you imagine if you were like an EMT and you came onto a scene and a guy just had like a metal pipe shoved out their neck?
Be like, you know what?
And
I've
like,
seen this.
I was trying to save his life, and his neck's all in like this weird angle. He's like murdered.
We're laughing. He's dead.
Like, well, he's hypothetical. He's not a real person.
Yeah, true. I would use I've seen it in the movie, use a pen.
Yeah.
Right? And then get that airway flowing.
Right.
That's crazy, though. I couldn't imagine doing that.
No. But they do it all the time.
I used to think I wanted to get into the medical field, right?
Sure.
But then I'm like, I don't know if I could, like, give a shot, maybe. Maybe I can draw blood, maybe. But
Really?
then if I had to cut someone open.
Are you queasy?
No.
Blood?
I'm not queasy with blood.
Oh.
I think it would be queasy to cut someone open, like a surgeon.
Oh, really?
Can you imagine just like...
I can. I think...
It'd be like...
So I was watching that podiatrist show.
That's crazy to me.
On, I think it was like TLC. I forget what the name of the show is. It should be called like My Freaking Foot or something. But they do like surgeries on feet. And I kind of have issues with feet. Like, you know, think about being like tortured and they're doing stuff to your feet. That would probably bother me.
Turns me on when they
But I'm
tickle
watching like this doctor and she's using tools like I would use to work with wood. Mm-hmm. It's like the same
grinder.
tool. Yeah. I mean, it's like the same tools. They're just high grade.
Well, it's like a Dremel.
Medical. Yeah, exactly. And she's talking what she's going to do. And they cut it and they like hold it open with stuff. And it was actually really fascinating. I was like, okay. Like,
It's fascinating. I agree.
You know?
I don't know if I could do the...
well,
like,
knowing where all the nerves are and stuff and like not destroying somebody's life,
Like,
that would be...
ooh, sorry. I
Like
just
those
cut the wrong
surgeons, and
nerve.
it's like they're going in with those like long things, you know, and they're doing like external inside surgery, and they're looking at a screen over there doing this. Like, okay, we're gonna put this on that and that.
Like
That'd
a
be
video
nuts.
game?
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Dude, you know what trips me out, though? How the fuck do you leave parts and tool in someone? Like, you know, doc, I know we just worked on me and like my stomach's been hurting. They're like, oh shit, I left my scalp roll in
Have
there.
you ever done woodworking and stuff? Like you're doing a job and you just get like so into it that you're just laying stuff down.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
It's like, I'm going to just put these scissors on their lung for a minute. I'm just going to put this on their pancreas.
I know.
Sew them up. Oops.
Where's my level?
We need an x-ray. Oh, shit.
Lawsuit.
Yeah, man, that would be not good. Or like they get it backwards. They forget their left from their right and they take out the wrong kidney.
That's happened, I think,
yeah,
too.
nuts, man. That's a lawsuit.
Like, well, they were, I've seen or I've heard where like a dentist pulls the wrong tooth.
Can you
or
imagine?
something.
Yeah.
I'd be so fucking
So let me get this
pissed.
straight. I lost my good tooth and the shit tooth is still there. And now you want to charge me to come back?
That they would too.
They would.
I'd be like, no, I'm gonna sue you because, bitch, I better get free dental care for a laugh.
Right.
I'm supposed to get a crown in my tooth. Fuck, man, I don't want to do
For
that.
real? For real?
For real? Yeah.
I don't know what my voice did there, but
It's like a
was
2
very
week long, or a 2 week long. It's like a 2-hour process.
you're going to be sitting there for 2 weeks so they build
Dude,
that crown.
the last time I got a crown, I had to leave my jaw open for, it was like 2 hours or something.
Oh, did they put something in there to make it open?
Yeah. Yeah. Afterwards, for about I want to say it was about at least 5 days to a solid week.
You're sore.
Oh, I could barely open my mouth to put like a spoon in there.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh, dude, my jaw was so painful. I don't know how prostitutes do it,
I
but
was going to say, how did you suck dick?
kudos. Couldn't. It'd have to be a really micro one. Even then, we'd be pushing it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I could barely open my mouth, dude. It was pretty painful.
Dang, how do prostitutes do it? That's a legit question. Like all those hours of work.
Oh, they probably just snake style, unhinged.
Sure. After a while, it's just called lockjaw. That's not funny.
Actually,
That's very
lockjaw would
sad.
be scary.
That'd be
bro.
awful.
You're getting.
You have to go in and they.
Well, what if you're like getting, a blowy and then she gets lockjaw and then
bites.
like,
Well, I mean, hey.
that's what you get.
Yeah,
you get what you're paid
you knew
for.
the rules. So I want to talk
Switching
about
up.
something that, speaking of sucking dicks, I want to talk to you about a great movie that was amazing. and had very little to do with Second Dick. Although there was one scene that was
interesting.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna blow it. I'm not gonna.
Whoa, hey!
I'm not gonna say what happened, but it's Speak No Evil. If you've seen any of the previews for it,
Yeah.
I'll just say
James McAvoy's in there.
Yes, he is always amazing in these types of roles,
dude.
Where he's just
Split?
off. Yeah. So Speak No Evil. I'm only gonna say what's in the trailer for those of you that haven't seen it.
I want to watch that.
This couple, they're like in Europe and they go on this like vacation to Italy and they meet this other couple that lives in the West Country of England. So like very rural, kind of like very few people living out there, right? And so they hit it off and they're like, you should come visit us in the West Country. And so they end up doing that. And when they get out there, this weird behaviors start to happen and things start to feel not right. And then you see a scene where this boy that has like a disability, like
You got the tism?
he does this, like implying that his tongue was cut out. So you learn in the movie what this whole backstory is. The trailer pretty well tells you like what the movie's about.
Like the bases.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you know what you're in for. You know what's going to happen. But they add like it's a good solid story. Like there's more depth to the overall story than what you go in expecting. It was like just the right amount of over the top in times where it just puts you in that right feeling that you should have as the audience, where it's almost like you're the one
Like
there.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, nice.
And it just really, I mean, Blanca, we were leaving and she was just raving about it. I think she liked it more than I did even.
Yeah, she said that was one of the best movies she's watched in a long time.
Yeah, it really was. Because, you know, like you get these horror movies and it's like, it's really hard to have a great horror movie.
I agree.
But sometimes they pull it off. I think the more supernatural you get, the harder it is for them to pull off like a really solid experience.
I think a good horror movie needs to be more like it's almost suggestive to yourself, where you don't see, like you say, you don't see nothing, you just
your
feel
brain
it.
does the
Oh,
work.
yeah, dude.
And that's like, this is not that at all, because it's not supernatural. It's like, it's more situational. It's like it puts you in that place of survival
life.
where you're like, man, I could see myself in this situation and what would I do? Like, okay, what? All right, this guy's here and I'm here. What's my plan?
I
what am
love
I
James
gonna do?
McAvoy too, man.
Oh man, he's
an incredible actor.
if I were a girl and I were with him and he started joking around doing that thing that he does where
He's psycho.
he looks like a nut job. Like he is so good at that role.
Well, Split.
He'll smile, but have like pain in his eyes. Like if you look at what he does with his face, he's giving you two contradictory emotions at once, and it's like he is a master at that.
Dude, he looked hella ripped in that movie.
I don't know how close, we were talking last night, I don't know how close it was to when he did that second Split movie where he was all beefed up, but he was in good shape. He didn't they don't show him with his shirt off and stuff, so like he didn't necessarily look like ripped in the sense of like super like lean muscle.
No, he just
jacked.
looked
beefy.
Yeah, he's a big beefcake.
I mean, God, let's talk more about him.
Okay, Ryan.
No, but he was he did such a good job. Like the whole cast was great.
I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna try to get Alicia to go.
Yeah, man, it is so worth a watch. If you like haven't gone to the theaters in a while and you're like, I want a good movie, I want a good experience, I want to throw $50 away, and I don't want to waste it.
Well, so I've been wanting to see, like, I want to see Beetlejuice too, but then I want to see.
Great, by the way.
And I
We
want to
went and
see.
saw that one.
I want to see. Obviously, Speak No Evil. I wanted to see it when I seen the preview because I like James McAvoy.
Oh yeah,
and it just looked very.
as we've established.
As we established,
we love him.
I have a crush on. No, I'm just kidding. But like he's a good actor. So the movie looked pretty cool. So for the fact that you guys watched it, makes me want to almost watch that more than Beetlejuice. Actually,
Sure.
You know,
I think I think between the two, and don't get me wrong, Beetlejuice is awesome. It's totally worth a watch too. I loved that Beetlejuice. They did so many good things. I love that they did.
But it's Beetlejuice. I know what Beetlejuice
everything.
is about.
But yeah, you know what you're gonna
Yeah.
see. Right, and it's not outside of what you would expect to see. Still a great movie. I mean,
Kenny
like, there's a lot
Ortega.
of movies where I'm like, I don't think I need to pay theater prices to see this.
Yeah.
I'll wait for it to come out on like Netflix or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Beetlejuice is worth watching in the theater just for like the nostalgia of it.
Which I still
and
want
they
to
did a great job. It wasn't just like, oh, Beetlejuice, we'll just throw this together. Like it was legitimately good. Well done. But this movie, I don't know, like the emotional, just that sense of like you walk out of there feeling good, but like you had that right amount of stress where you feel like you've been through something. Like if you're looking for that little like, ugh, you know, like kick in the pants, that's a good movie to go see.
Yeah, Alicia and Cheeky watched. I can't think of the movie right now, but it's with.
Blink Twice.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
one with Channing
What did they
Tatum.
think of that one?
They said they liked it.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that one. I was gonna take Blanca to it, and then
She was like,
but
Cheeky's like, I think you'll like that, Jesse. And I'm like, oh, I might have to check it
yeah,
out.
because
But
I'm guessing he's kind of like Channing Tatum's. I'm guessing kind of like a
Psycho, probably.
yeah. What's the name of that guy that Epstein? Right. I'm guessing it's like he has a secret island. He takes girls out there. Bad shit happens. Like I'm thinking that's kind of the.
Could be, yeah.
You know, like he drugs people and does stuff, and he's just a nut job. But I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong.
I don't know.
That's kind of the sense
I'll have to
I
find
got.
that out.
Yeah.
But speaking of shows and TLC from earlier, you were talking about TLC.
Oh, yes.
There was a show me and Alicia started watching. It's called You, Me, and My Ex. So it's the premise is basically this couple. It'd be like me and Alicia, right?
Yeah.
But they like, for whatever reason, the ex lives with them, right? Somehow the ex is just always involved.
So pretty much, if Blanca left me,
and
I had to move somewhere,
but
and I
some
moved
of
in
it,
with you
some of
guys.
it's actually like, I've seen one where I think it's kind of the situation where, me and Blanca were together, right?
Yeah.
And then she leaves me for you, kind of thing.
And you're still in the house.
Yeah.
And we're together.
It's like a weird situation. But some of the
they're
people
not killing each other, and like
No, some of these people, they actually have a good relationship with their ex, but some of it's like almost too good. Like one guy was talking to his ex, but saying like, "Oh man, your boobs look really good," and I'm like, me and Alicia look at each other like, "What the?"
and
fuck?
the other guy's just like,
No. The guy's chick was like, "Why are you telling her this? Like, this is, he's telling. That'd be like me telling Blanca she had
the
tonight.
girl's living in the house with them.
Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah, that's not gonna fly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some of it was interesting because I just thought about our situation in
Yeah.
a sense. Obviously, it's not like that, but there
Right.
was a couple, I want to say, that they had a pretty good relationship where
Right.
they, it was good co-parenting
Yeah.
and everything. And everyone kind of like meshed together. And it was just kind of cool to see that because, it just brought me to what we have really.
Yeah, just throw that out there to those of you that are listening for the first time and don't know.
Yeah.
We are in a blended family. We're the two dads of a blended family group.
Yeah. He's with my ex-wife.
Yeah, and he's with his new wife.
With my new wife, not his ex or anything. But
And when you tell my wife her tits look nice, I know what you mean by that.
I would never say that. You know what I mean?
That's why we work. That's why we work.
That's crazy.
There's,
so
yeah.
there was situations where the guy's like, you're like, dude, come on, like, what are you doing?
Right.
Or like the ex and the two exes are just way too over the top flirty, and you're just
With
like,
each other.
yeah, it's crazy.
Hold
but,
on, like the two.
So there was a couple.
Oh, I'm so stupid.
They were-
the
they
two
were go-
exes. Yeah.
So it was like if me, you, Blanca, and Alicia all went on a little like road trip, right?
Right.
Which we've done.
Right.
But it'd be like if me and Blanca were super flirty with each
Right.
other. It was just awkward. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
like what are you doing?
This is not right.
yeah, it was.
But it's kind of like, to me, that sounds like that idea of like an open relationship where someone's like, oh, we're going to do an open relationship and we're going to be in love together.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are cases where that works, but generally speaking, I feel like one is going to get a lot more action than the other and it's going to cause issues.
Well, this one, so this guy and his girl lived together and they had like, I think 1 or 2 kids.
Okay.
And then he brings in his new girl. Well, the girl and his new girl do not get along at all.
But
Both
the girl
bitchy.
was originally okay with the idea.
Neither were. This dude is. This is how stupid this guy is. So he's dating this girl. She's probably mid-20s. He's
Okay.
like 50.
Oh, wow.
Right. She's a pretty girl. She's like Puerto Rican, but she's like darker.
Okay.
Well, when he has her come to live with him, he lets her know, like, well, we're not going to be sleeping in the same room. So I set up a bed in the closet. I was like,
the bedroom?
In the room, yeah.
Of the master suite. So
she was sleeping in the closet.
my wife and I will be in the bed, and you will sleep.
No,
like,
so the ex-wife has her own room. He has his room.
and she sleeps in the closet
she
of
goes-
his room.
Yeah, it was fucking funny, dude. It was
Is he
terrible.
like mentally ill?
No, it was
Give
just
her own room, or is it not that big of a house?
no. It was a nice house, bro. Like, but
Give
there
her
was
her own room.
it
The
was.
least you could do in a sister wife situation.
Well, it wasn't even like that because the couple that wasn't together, it wasn't like they were together. They weren't even trying to be together. They just coexisted in the house together.
So she was like sleeping around on her end too.
You know, if she wanted, she could, but you didn't see like her with a boyfriend or
Yeah.
anything. But it was their way of co-parenting, I guess.
You and I.
But she was super jealous. There was just so much jealousy. It was crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well-
The thing that I actually thought about, and I told Alicia, I was like, you know, some of these people would be interesting to see if we could reach out to them to get them on
talk to
our
them?
just
Yeah.
about the co-parenting and how to coexist.
Yeah,
like,
right.
you know, in that
right.
aspect
Absolutely. Yeah.
because like I said, there was some where it really it worked ish.
Yeah.
Right. They weren't over the top or anything, but they
Right.
just it's kind of like our situation
Yeah.
where, you know, we don't live with you guys.
Right.
But we all work.
But we
really
live
well.
down the road from each other.
Yeah, but we all work well together. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And there was a couple like that where it was like they didn't live together.
Right.
They just coexisted really well.
Well,
together
where
and
you
they
where you
meshed.
mesh and kind of become like a family. I mean, luckily you and I like a lot of the same things. So
Yeah.
friendship, it was easy. And again, we've said this before, but there was no sense of like I never felt like you and Blanca wanted to be together. I
Yeah.
felt like I always felt secure in my relationship with her and your relationship with Alicia. And that allowed for us to have
And I think you need that.
solid ground, right? Like, yeah, if you don't have that trust and that like sincere feeling of security, you're not going to be vulnerable.
Well, if
enough
you
for that.
always
But-
if you think like one still wants the other or has feelings for the other,
Right.
I don't think it would work.
no, it couldn't work.
You know what I
you would
mean?
never trust that person.
be like,
but right,
I know what you're up to. I know what you're really trying to do.
right. If I thought you wanted to be with Blanca,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I looked at her phone and saw all the texts,
Yeah.
you know, because we're all texting each other constantly.
Yeah.
And like but we've really blended to the point that it feels kind of like one big family.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
All of Alicia's kids, you know, like your kids,
Yeah, yeah.
your stepkids, like we feel like aunts
And
and
uncles.
uncles to them. I need to stop talking with my hands. You know, and like vice versa. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
for
and,
sure.
And we've done holidays together. We've done, you know, just a lot of different things, and it feels so natural. So it doesn't mean that you have to be that to be successful.
No.
But for the amount of blended families in this country that either work or do not work at all, for the kids' sake, you know, one of the big things that we hope with this podcast is that's one thing that we can be an example of, is how you can make that work.
Yeah, and you know what's cool is like, I've been seeing more and more lately of people posting about blended families and them working together.
Right.
You know, I don't know necessarily how the dynamics between the exes are.
Right.
But you can tell that they all, you know, take pictures together, kind of like what we do. Everything just seems to work well, and
Yeah.
you know, they all have that positive attitude. Like,
Yeah, right.
hey, you know, we're in this for the kids. We got to do this for the long haul.
Yeah.
We're, you know, whether you like it or not, we got this kid together for the next 18 years or whatever,
Yeah,
until
right.
they're an adult or whatever.
And kids
Even
are getting
on,
like
though.
younger as adults.
Well, even
you know.
even
Yeah.
past 18, everyone
Right.
says until you're 18, but you know,
Yeah.
they're going to get married, or there's going to be times where you,
Or they're not going to get a job right away. They're going to need a place to crash, and you're going to be
Yeah.
still supporting them as they get established in life. Like,
yeah. There's so much to it.
one
So,
nice thing when you have a blended family that works well, there's a lot more money and resources that can go into that kid. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
with
true.
Elena, we're always splitting Elena's costs and things, which the cost isn't what the kid's about. But
but it helps.
there are definite benefits to a blended family when it comes to some
yeah.
of those, you know,
Like
elements.
she just one of her presents was a gaming PC,
Right.
And instead of just like, here, you're paying all of it, it's, we'll split it up.
Yeah, and then she's got a grandma that wants to help. That's awesome too. She's
Yeah.
constantly that gal. She's sick for her grandkids. She's like, "Oh, get him $1 million gift.
I know.
Like, here's my
I'm
credit
gonna go
card."
give her a Maserati or whatever that fucking car is.
Right. A Maserati. Yeah, man, that's an expensive car.
Dude, there's this car at the gym we go to at the Orange Theory.
Yeah.
And I seen it yesterday, and today when we were leaving, it was there. It's this BMW, but the color of it, it's like I'm colorblind, so to me, it's this like chocolate brown.
Oh.
But it might be a maroon. I don't know.
Okay.
But to me, it's a chocolate brown, and it's a really cool looking.
It's like a newer
it's beautiful,
model,
man. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful.
Is
car.
it more of the that kind of like modern sporty look?
It's
Like,
it's a 4-door sedan style.
okay,
but it's
more classic.
But it's got the round body and stuff, so
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
sporty enough. Where
Because
it's
some
not,
of them are like super modern looking.
it's not too modern looking.
Okay, more of a classic.
Yeah,
like,
it's
nice
got a
high end car.
Yeah, it's got a nice sporty look to it,
Yeah.
but it's not like ugh.
Yeah, like my Lincoln is like, it's still like the classic like old person like,
I love that.
and I love it. That's why I'm so sad the new Suburban is like so sporty looking, because I like the last one was so like luxurious looking.
What? Oh, the Suburban.
Yeah,
yeah.
like the previous model was my favorite. It just had like an elegance to it.
Speaking of Suburban, and I don't know if I talked about this. No, actually, we didn't have a podcast then.
Oh.
Or then. We didn't do a podcast then.
we've had it for 3 years.
So like I was been mentioned, I've been doing site visits.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing one with one of my techs, Johnny, and we went to Hermiston, and he has a Suburban.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh.
and
Really good. You got me there.
this was such a crazy day for us. Well, his handle on the passenger side didn't really work, right? So it was kind of like broke in a sense where you couldn't open the door. So I'd have to roll the window. He'd roll the window down. We'd pop it open.
Yeah. So he
through the
was
inside.
like a kidnapper. Is that?
Yeah, he'd roll the window down and I'd open the door and open it, right?
Okay.
Well, there was one day, or later that day, we were in Hermiston, and I went to go leave the door. I got out of the door, and I went to shut it, but then I was like, fuck, I need my computer. And I grabbed the handle and pulled it back. You know how you sometimes are like, oh, shit. I fucking broke it.
Oh.
Snapped it.
So now the door does not work at all.
I have the handle in my arm. I'm holding it in my hands, and I'm like, oh my God, Johnny, dude. Because he was talking about he wanted to fix it. I was like, bro, I am so sorry.
Oh, no.
I fucking broke this. Like, I felt terrible. He goes, oh, it's already broken, man. And Johnny's like,
Super nice guy.
super nice guy. Always
What
just,
year? Like what model?
It was an 08.
Okay.
But it's a nice Suburban, dude.
So that's about like what my truck.
yeah,
model
it's a
is.
very nice,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. They hold their
roomy.
value.
Oh yeah. Well, he's super like I'm very apologetic, and
Yeah.
he's Johnny being Johnny, he's very a chill guy, very he's just one of those guys, like he's just a super cool guy.
Yeah.
So he's just like, nah, man, it's all right, whatever. I'm like, no, dude, like it's whatever. Anyway, throughout the day, I'm asking him the year of his car and stuff, because I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna
buy.
I'm gonna order this part because I feel terrible. So luckily, I look it up and it's whatever, it's not expensive. And we're driving home, and then he's like, "What the fuck?" His battery gauge
Oh no.
kind of just all of a sudden goes from half to nothing,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden we start seeing these gauges going off, and he's like, "What the hell?" And we notice the AC like isn't running hot, and we're like,
Alternator going in.
"That's what I'm thinking." Well, we're almost to Prosser at this point, and then the car just shuts off, and so we pull over, and we're like, what the fuck? He's just like, God dang it. Anyway, he luckily like he has AAA. My techs all have AAA, so we call them, and we were sitting on the highway for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just just talking about music and just hanging out and stuff. But this guy comes and he gets the car, and God, he was in to be Johnny. Look, we're like, this guy is like pissed off. He's in a bad mood. Like we're like, fuck, he's like, just grumpy. And we're like, okay. And we need a ride, obviously. So we get in there, and it's just quiet for a minute. And then I'm like, I don't like awkward silence sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes I'll just say something. So I was like, oh, man, and, like, so how long you been doing this or whatever, just to get someone talking. And then he was like, oh, man, and I didn't say nothing, but he apologized. Goes, it's been I've been working 18 hours straight. Like,
holy cow.
He's like, I'm sorry. And he ends up opening up, and he was just, after that, he was like, cool, right?
Yeah.
We get to Johnny's house, and then Johnny takes me into his. He's like, okay, I'm going to take you to get to your truck, and his daughter has this older caddy, like from I think it's either mid '90s or '80s.
Okay,
but it's like the grandma car.
Yeah,
it's such a smooth ride.
Yeah, with a little bounce to it.
Yeah, man. That's where I was getting
air
at
shocks
with that
or whatever.
story. I was just getting back to
right.
to have the granny car.
Suburban to the caddy.
Yeah,
All right, I
dude.
get it.
And I love Cadillacs, and it was like a DeVille, and it just had like that smooth ride. Oh, dude, it was nice. Yeah, so that was my story.
Very cool.
But that was a crazy day because I ended up not getting back to the Tri-Cities till probably like 6:30 that night.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That's wild.
Sucked. Poor dude. I hate car problems.
Yeah.
Literally the worst things in the
If
world.
you're having car problems, I feel bad for you, son.
Yeah, I got 99 problems, but a car problem ain't one now. I hope.
I hope not. Yeah.
I know. I took my truck in to get looked.
Yeah, right. After you found like an acre and a half of dirt underneath it.
Bro, so much
that
dirt.
was crazy.
There was about literally probably I want to say 15 pounds of dirt underneath.
Man, so that Johnny's car lot down in downtown Kennewick, they've got, I don't know if they still have it, but they have like probably the car of my dreams.
Oh.
They have I don't know what year, but it's the model of Dodge Challenger that we had before. Same car, but in orange.
Oh, nice.
And it's the RT, which is a little bit more like
Got a little speeder.
a little sportier.
Get that Hellcat.
I love that, like the orange in that car. I look at it every day. Then when we drive by, I'm like, God.
There's a car lot kind of next to Texaco. Texaco.
It's a Toxico
It's
station.
next to Texaco.
All right.
God
we're
damn it.
Californians.
Hello.
Hello.
I feel like that's how Roy would have said Texaco.
It's by the Toxico station.
If you haven't watched Ted Lasso, I suggest
Kent.
watching.
I was going to bring up Ted Lasso because that show is so
It is so good. But there was a Cadillac there that for
like
the longest time I'd drive by and I was just like, it was all black. It was just like sexy looking. I was like,
anything that could be a mob car, it's like right up my alley, you know? Like, not that a Challenger is. Challenger's just more like a cool car.
yeah, this one was a lot more sporty-ish, not the sedan style.
But I have to tell
Caddy.
myself, I'm like, okay, I have a nice car that I like. I'm not going to like put myself in debt to get like this cool ass car.
YOLO.
You know, you only live once. You might as well go broke.
Yeah. You ain't taking that money with you to the graveyard.
It's
right?
true. I just need the money to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, Ted Lasso, if we roll into that show. So there are a few like shows in my mind that raise the bar on what like a television production can be. Sopranos will always be my number one.
Yeah.
Love that show. But that is a show where I've heard someone describe it, and maybe I've said this before, but somebody said once, like, Breaking Bad is a great show. Mm-hmm. Sopranos is so great you can forget you're watching a show. Like, you can get yourself into it to the point that you forget these aren't real people.
You get so invested.
And right.
Yeah.
And Ted Lasso for me is also like that.
Yeah, for sure.
His character, I don't know, just there's something about his positivity, but then as you get deeper into the show, you see that not everything's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, like he's dealing with a lot.
Well, I think that's usually those are the people that are dealing with the most. The people you see on the outside just look so happy and everything.
You know, and it's like it's an upbeat show in its core.
Yeah.
Like everything about it makes you feel better, makes you like I've been so inspired to like try to be better just in the show, and it's probably gonna be short-lived. Like I'm sure once the show's over and I move on, I'm not gonna be this like guy. Hey everybody, I hope you got a smile on your face because I'm gonna bring you some biscuits. How about that?
Yeah, those look good.
Oh man, I'm gonna make me some Ted Lasso biscuits. I saw that online you can make them. He gives his boss biscuits, which are basically like muffin cookie type.
It's like a cookie thing.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Looks like a biscotti almost.
Kind of, yeah. It's like cut into like a square, like a brownie.
Like a brownie. It looks like a brownie.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Like a lemon brownie.
Yeah. I mean, it looks very
lemon
good.
brownie. I don't know if that's
But it's a lemon brownie. A yellowy. But yeah, anyway, it's just a great show. If you have Apple Plus and you're looking for, I mean, it's 30-minute episodes.
Oh, yeah.
So like Blanca and I, if we're, you know, I got home late Thursday night. I went to a meeting in downtown, and
Hey, that sounds cool.
At the district office. It wasn't me meeting, really. It was me sitting in a room learning about
No, downtown
stuff.
just sounded cool.
But we call it like the district office.
I know what you
Not a big deal. But it sounds cool. It does sound cool.
Yeah.
And I got home like 6:30, something like that.
Oh, okay.
And so we were eating our dinner and just watching Ted Lasso. It was just so easy to pop on and watch. And
Well, yeah, I think for that show, like me and Elisa, when we started watching it, like you put it on, just okay, people talk about this show, whatever,
right?
And then you watch it and you're like, fuck, man, this show's actually really
you realize
good.
right away why people are talking about it.
Yeah, but I love those moments where it's like there's those very uplifting moments, but then there's that moments where it's like it's a serious moment where you almost feel like there's times where it's like it pulls at those strings.
Oh yeah,
you know
for sure.
Yeah, like,
and it grounds it in that level of reality where, like, because there's moments in the show, especially early on, where it really feels like a show because it's just so upbeat and so happy and like, it's still great, but you don't get that, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's not a reality. It's something like lofty, right? Yeah. But then you start to get to these episodes where you start to see the vulnerabilities and you start to see the problems, and it grounds it to such this like deeper level.
Yeah.
That man, it's great. And you brought up what you guys thought, like Schitt's Creek is another show. Like we've watched that show 10 times.
Yeah.
It's such a great show for seeing how people can grow and develop and learn through
and that's
adversity and experience. And Ted Lasso feels very much like that. As you're learning the characters and you're developing this sense of who they really are and what drives them. The show's so much about leadership and so much about, I don't know, just like being in tune with the world around you.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It's a great show. Yeah. I know. I need to find a new show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been rewatching like Daredevil.
Okay.
It's on Disney Plus.
Like the old one with Jennifer.
No, not that movie. Not that terrible movie with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner.
Didn't they do a show for a while, or was it just a movie?
No, just a movie.
Oh, okay.
The show is I don't know the actor's name, but they have a really good cast. If you haven't watched that show, it was originally a Netflix show.
For some reason, I could have sworn that they did.
It's a lot darker than your typical like Disney show.
Yeah,
because it was done by Netflix.
Right.
But it's a great show. But the guy who plays Matt Murdock, man, I'm watching it. I'm like, fuck, man, this guy's actually a pretty good actor. Like, there's times where I'm like, damn, is he really blind? Because he does it so well.
He runs into walls and stuff.
Well, he just plays that blind, like when he's talking and he has maybe his little blind glasses off and he just looks blind. You just the way he does his mannerisms, or even when he's like doing the braille, like I feel like he does it the right way. Like I don't know, it's pretty well done.
I wonder if he like closes his eyes so he doesn't actually see where somebody is.
I don't know, but then he has his three blind mice glasses, the little round ones. I don't know why is that the glasses for the blind.
Is it?
Anytime I've ever thing. It might be a TV thing, but the three blind mice, they all had the little round circle glasses.
Maybe it just tells other people that,
like John Lennon, the John Lennon style glasses.
Get this, it's so they can see who the other blind people are.
Yeah. Point him out. He's blind.
You're blind too, aren't you? I can tell by your glasses now. I don't know.
It's a good show though. If you haven't watched that, that's actually a really good show. The guy who plays Kingpin, he's Vincent DeFerrano, or God, I can't say his name right. But you've seen him in 1,000 movies. He was, if you ever watch Full Metal Jacket, he's Gomer Pyle, the one that shoots himself.
Oh,
he plays Kingpin, but he's such a good actor.
Wasn't Kingpin in like Spider-Man too? Isn't that?
He's a Spider-Man villain.
So they're connected.
They haven't connected him yet.
This guy is like, he knows all the actual stories of like all the.
Matt Murdock, the guy who plays Matt Murdock, was actually in the newer Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
That came out a couple years ago, which was cool because when he showed up on screen, everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Because like someone throws a brick through there and he catches it, but he's blind, obviously. And Spider-Man looks at him, like, "How'd you?"
I remember that.
How the fuck did you know that, motherfucker?
Yeah.
I was like, let's just say I got some you know, my senses.
Let's just say my spidey sense was tingling.
Because he's like, you know, ultra sense. He can like hear people's heartbeats and shit.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. It's a good show.
Yeah.
But the guy, one of the actors in there is like really good. His actor name, his character name is Foggy.
Okay.
I can't think of the guy though. He's been in a few movies, but he's usually like a smaller role. But he's a really good actor.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Nice.
Some of those shows be pissing me off.
Oh.
But I don't know, man. It's been a crazy couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We had Brian on last time. It was good to catch up with him, hear what's going on in his world. He's always kind of fun to talk to, He's very fun to talk to.
Yeah, Brian, yeah.
Brian's got a good sense of humor, but he
He's
also, he's going through a lot in life, and he's kind of like figuring out, like we all do, that path that you want to be on and how to get there.
It's tough.
It is tough. And, I appreciate how open he is talking about it, how honest he seems to be about where he's at and where he wants to be. And that was 2 weeks ago. And now here we are.
I know.
Once again, at my daughter's birthday yesterday, I was compared to Ryan Reynolds.
Again, older.
This has now happened in the last month. It's happened twice.
Yep.
So it's
I was witnessed now. That's the second time I've witnessed it.
And it's like, it seems to be happening more frequently, but it's shifting. So yesterday, not only did somebody ask, has anyone ever told you that you look like Ryan Reynolds? But there's an element added to it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you know that you look like an older Ryan Reynolds? Now, I'm 38 years old. Given a few months, I'll be 39. To my knowledge, Ryan Reynolds is like 47.
Is he?
And he's a good looking man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I probably do look older than Ryan Reynolds. But it was kind of funny to hear a kid say, you look like an old Ryan Reynolds when I'm like 9 years younger than the man. I'm like, okay, thank you.
But I mean, come on. I wouldn't mind being compared to an older.
Hey, I will take it. It was still a boost to my ego, but I'm getting more used to hearing it.
Like,
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't see the similarity myself. I still don't.
Just take it, dude.
But I've really noticed it's younger people. It's not people in our age group. It's not people that kind of grew up with his movies, like
yeah, like Van Wilder and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's people that are. I've never had an older person say it. It's the first person was like probably early 20s. Mm-hmm. Then it was the girl at Yolks, and she was, I mean, probably around the same age.
Yeah.
Then it was that kid at the restaurant the other weekend, and he's probably around that
he was
age.
like mid-20s,
right?
Maybe 30.
And then it was now Elena's little friend who's a high school kid.
Yeah.
So it's all these younger people who are seeing something.
Well, I mean,
And it's like that distance of like, I guess, like, I don't know. They're not as connected to Ryan Reynolds, but I'll take it. I need to get in shape. I mean, and maybe dye my hair so I'm not old Ryan Reynolds. But hey, Ryan Reynolds, I know you probably listen to this.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a movie together.
Little celeb.
I'll play the guy, your brother that got hit by the Mack truck, and you can be
Twins.
Ryan Reynolds.
No, you guys got to be twins. Like
Yeah, we'll be twins.
Just remake the movie Twins.
Yeah, we'll do that. Ryan, I would love to work with you.
You guys would just be the same height. You won't be Joe Pesci and Arnold, you know.
Hey.
Oh, wait, not Joe Pesci. Who was it? The other short guy. Who's the other short guy? Danny DeVito.
There you go. Yeah.
Who is this fucking guy?
Can you? Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I love Joe Pesci.
You a clown? You think I'm funny?
Oh, you think I'm fucking funny? Huh?
Yeah.
I love Joe Pesci. He is so great. I love that on Home Alone set, he had to, in his contract, they couldn't call him in before 11 because he golfed every morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was in his contract. He would not come to set before 11 because he had to get around to golf in every day.
Man, I've been itching to golf.
Me too.
The last time I went was when we all went. That was the last time.
Yeah, you had the round of your life and I imploded. Oh, my God.
Yeah, dude, that felt good.
No, I didn't.
Hey, so does your dad, when you golf with your dad,
Yeah.
you can't re-hit, huh? I feel like your dad's professional in that sense. You know how
you can mulligan.
You know how we mulligan and we're
Yeah.
like, we're not going to count it on our
You can
stroke?
mulligan. I mean,
I try not to.
honestly, like if I'm golfing with you, I do tend to just let it be more fun, and I just kind of do it. If I'm golfing with Blanca, she wants to learn her score, and so I have been getting a little more firm on like,
Yeah.
I'm counting everything because I really do want to see if I'm getting better.
Well, I did same with.
But Yeah, I mean, you can definitely mulligan. Sometimes, like even with his friend Dave, if you're just golfing, like we do, like we're not in a competition or whatever, like his friend Dave will actually play in like, amateur competitions, whatever.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not going to screw my clubs up. Like if it's in like a rocky situation where you would technically have to play out of there, he's like, it's not worth screwing my club up. So he'll move it from there into the grass. He probably adds a stroke because he's that good.
I know I've golfed with like my buddy Nick and stuff, and if it's lying in something kind of like that, they're like, just kick it out. Like,
yeah, I mean, if
and
you're
they won't even count it.
If you're just playing for fun, it's not that big a deal. I think my dad does count things because he really, like me, like he's trying to know his score. But
that's how I.
We're not. None of us are super intense.
I've been seeing people like, it'll be videos, just funny videos, and it'll be like the guy swung, and they're like, "Well, that's a stroke."
Yeah, right.
I'm like, dude, I would hate to play with someone that was like uber serious, like they're gonna make the PGA.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
The only time I know that they've been more like that is like if they're golfing with somebody that habitually does that kind of thing, but then acts like they're a better golfer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, where you're like, yeah, man, I shot like
when you're
but
actually,
did 45 mulligans.
Say that you're trying to get your handicap and you're getting signatures to say that you have this like score, but really you don't, because you've probably added 5 strokes by all the little moves you've done to put it in the prime position, those types of things. So like, I think they'd be a little more firm that way, but no, if you're just going out to have a good time and you need to get yourself, whatever, I think.
I've been trying to like not do that. I don't think I really mulliganed much when we went. I think maybe a couple rehits.
No, you did a good job. For whatever reason,
someone stole my ball one time. That kind of like, do you count that? Like that kind of pisses me off when that happens.
I typically will not count it against myself if I know where the ball went. Like I didn't lose the ball and I get to that area and I can't find it. I'm not going to count that drop. I would have to in a real tournament. But in a real tournament, they have the people that watch and they run and they spot it for you.
Well, when we were golfing, the guys were out there cleaning up because we were near the range.
Yeah.
And so my ball kind of hit a line.
So they probably took your ball.
Yeah. Oh, they took it. Like I knew where it went.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I ain't counting that. Fuck that shit.
No. And man, you were playing very, very well. I was not. So I just quit scoring myself instead of like trying to keep score and just like fudging the score. I just was like, fuck it. This is not going to be a score.
I think sometimes it's tough. Like I'm trying to do this with just anything really, is just like, take a moment to just kind of like, you know what? Fuck it. What's the worst?
Talked about it on this podcast, I think. Like this summer, I played a lot more golf because Blanca's been into it. And I really got a lot better at just breathing, letting it go. But I was playing better. I was playing where like I would have a hole or 2 holes where it fell apart, but I was recovering.
Yeah.
So I could breathe through it. That day, I don't know. It started fucked up and it got worse. Like I could not hit clubs. I was towing it all the time and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
Something was just not connecting between my brain and my body that day. And,
I don't know. I've been trying myself, just not even with golf, just anything, just being more, trying to have a more positive mind. Like just like even with my house, like I've been looking to like, this sounds super hippie, but trying to weed out any kind of like negativity that I feel within the house.
Oh, you got crystals and stuff,
dude. I've been looking up like how
you
you
little girl or something. No, just
how you read out like negativity, like because sometimes
sure.
Not that it's like negative in my house.
No, I get what you mean.
The energy just feels off.
For example, your house gets really cluttered, right?
Yeah.
And you feel like it's dirty and there's stuff everywhere. It doesn't necessarily make you feel good.
Yeah.
It might make you feel enclosed and like
so I've been like,
like
I heard something about like orange, like scented stuff, like orange essential oil. Okay. So I've been mixing that with water to get, because I don't know, it's supposed to make it positive. And I heard if you walk around the house, and I haven't done this yet, but I might try it, but you ring a bell throughout because it's supposed to push out all that negative energy. I don't know.
Those are the levels where I don't necessarily know.
I don't know if it's
fully
true.
Believe it, but I mean, hey, what does it hurt?
It doesn't hurt.
If it triggers your brain to be like, oh, I rang my bell, now everything's good. Hey, whatever, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, all night long, like that energy won't change.
I guess you go to like the corners of your house and you kind of just like ring a bell.
Are you gonna burn sage?
I thought about it. My friend Johnny, he tells me him and his wife will burn sage. Because it's supposed
Hey,
to
who
cleanse
knows?
out.
Didn't Phil
Mickelson, Donahue.
no, the coach for the Lakers.
Oh, Phil Jackson.
Yeah, didn't Phil Jackson do that like all the time?
Yeah,
in
he's
the
very
locker room?
zen.
Yeah,
He has like a book about it. Like he's
Yeah.
very like a zen.
I mean,
person.
who's to say that some of that stuff doesn't work? Like,
When I came back from Oregon from a site visit, I was actually like coming home and I was like, you know what? I can feel, let me just, I just want to try to relax. It's been a long drive. Because sometimes my problem is like, I'm like, just so I build up and, you come home and you're used to being like alone, but then you come home to the kids and everybody.
Right.
It's much louder than you're used to or whatever. So I was like, I put on like some positive, positive music, but it was more like, I don't know. It was just like instrumental stuff. And so it's just kind of like meditating.
Yeah.
Just to calm myself. Cause I tend to like get like stressed out and anxious about stuff. So I'm like trying to like let that stuff go.
well, there is more and more research about the connection.
I don't want my heart to explode one day because I'm stressed out over something so stupid that I made up in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Music has a very like,
it's very calming.
it's
for
a
me.
very, and it should be like our brains are hardwired for music. Like they've been doing studies on just, I think even like rhythms and speech and stuff and its connection to music and how innately inside humans is like a very deep emotional musical connection. I mean, and you think about scores in a movie. We talked about that before. If you took a horror movie and you took out the music, it wouldn't be half as scary.
No, you're right. It does something
I mean,
to your
like
psyche.
truly, it's so much of your emotion comes from the sound involved, right?
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, that's the last thing I have written for this week is last night I had one of those nights where I had bad dream after bad dream, not like horror dreams, I'm being chased by a monster or something, but like real life dreams. I had a dream that Blanc and I got in a fight. I had a dream that I was...
That was real.
Yeah, I know. I woke up. It was such a realistic fight.
I hate those.
That I felt like we were on bad terms when I woke up. And we weren't. Like, she was fine
Don't
with
you
me.
hate that?
But I'm like, it felt so real. And then I had a dream that I was like teaching something, but the classroom is full of adults. And okay, I'm going to admit something that's very weird, but my mom was in the classroom.
Okay.
And on the screen that I was projecting, there were like pornographic images.
Oh, shit.
And I'm just like, okay, no one's noticing that this. I wasn't in control of this. Like, this is just there. And so
God damn it, my phone.
I'm like leading this thing, but but it has nothing to actually do with anything I had control over. But it's just there. So it's like very awkward. And I'm just like, does she even notice this? Does anybody know? Because no one was reacting like they noticed. So I just kept going. So that was like very off-putting and uncomfortable. And then I'm like reading this text, but I couldn't see it real well. So I'm like tripping over my words. And this guy who's an adult is like, man, you're not very good at reading, are you? I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I can't see very well. And I was getting like really like upset. And just last night I was hanging out with my brother and I was talking about how like good work is. Like, I feel like there's a lot changing at work, a lot happening. A lot of people are very stressed out. I feel actually okay. I feel confident in myself. So I don't know where that dream came from.
I think sometimes it's just subconsciously.
Yeah, I don't know
there.
what's going on. I do have a lot of grading I need to do today. So maybe I'm just stressed about the fact that I don't have that done yet. I don't know. But that part with Blanca, I was thinking about it this morning. So, we had Elena's birthday at the house. And we always do a lot of cleaning. And I've always felt from the time that we started that I'm the one that has to kind of take charge in the area of like cleaning.
Yeah.
When we first got together, Blanca was very averse to cleaning.
Okay.
That's her business. It's nothing against her, but that was where she was at the time.
Just
it
the
was
way you
very emotionally triggering for her. And I kind of took the bulk of the burden on that. So like anytime we were going to have people over, because it is my family that's way more judgy on that kind of stuff.
Which they don't seem, to be honest.
They're not, but they are. I mean, like,
I get
it's
it, but I'm saying
respectfully. I mean, they're very clean people. Like
from the outside looking in, I can't.
No,
I
my
don't see
parents
that.
are great people. I love them to death. But I mean, they deep clean the house. Like, I'm talking remove the fridge and mop underneath the
crazy.
fridge. They take out the bottom of the
I
stove.
don't even want to do that right now.
No, I mean, like, truly, like, every week they deep clean the house.
crazy.
And I grew up with that. And that was not a bad thing. But
No.
I don't live that way. I mean, I'm very tired when I get home from work usually, and I don't clean up everything all the time.
Yeah.
But it gets stressful before a party. And usually I feel like
yeah.
I'm the one that takes the lead on all that. And this time I didn't. I kind of let Blanca set the tone and the pace, and like I just kind of did my thing. But I was in a moody space because I think we flipped.
You seemed it when
Now
I
I
went
have-
outside
Oh,
when you
yeah?
were on the pool. You just seemed
Really?
Off.
Oh, I was okay at the pool.
yeah. No, you
like
just
once
seemed,
we were at
you
the
just seemed
party,
quieter than normal.
Yeah, I was okay at the party. It's just before that, like that night before Friday, like she was really cool about it. And that's like one nice thing with Blanca now is instead of like we don't argue as much as we used to at all. And she knew something was off. And I apologized to her. I said, all right, like I know I'm off. And she's always asked me to do that. And I've never been able to like recognize it and do it. But I said, sorry, I'm off. I don't know how we flipped, but you used to get triggered by cleaning. Now I get triggered. I know it's because I felt like I used to have to do most of it. And so now it's like frustrating when I do it. I don't know where my headspace is with that. But yeah, I was just really moody. And so I apologized to her. She was, why don't you go to the store and because I was trying to make those bookshelves look more finished for those pictures. So she's like, why don't you just go get the little things to put the shelves up and like find some stuff that we can put on the shelves. I'm like, all right, cool. Like I like buying like plants and shit. I'll go and look at that. And so it all worked out.
Well, I think,
but,
I think sometimes I don't know. I like you just said, like sometimes you don't know why you're in those.
Well, I think I'm holding on to something that I need to just let go.
Well, that's a tough thing to figure out though. Sometimes,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. I think I know what it is. I think it's me being a little bitch, honestly. But
I don't know.
because like my argument to her when she used to struggle with it was always like, hey, it's just something that has to be done. Like I don't like it either, but you know, I used to get cleaning was kind of like cathartic. Is that the word?
Oh yeah, that's how
For
it is
me,
for
like
me.
I would calm down when I was cleaning. I kind of use it to deflect away from like work or something else that was stressing me out. I would clean instead.
Oh yeah,
that's not happening much anymore.
Like for me,
but
that's
it is something that has to be done. I'm like, I need to suck it up and just do it and not get triggered to be angry every time I start cleaning because I just get in this really pissy mood. But it is something that just has to be done, and it's not her fault.
Yeah, it's
and
that
I
thing.
feel like I start getting mad at everybody else when I start cleaning because I stress about keeping the house clean, and then I'm like, oh, all these fucking dishes everywhere, and nobody else can clean the floor, but I have to. And it's not true. It's not true. I'm building this narrative in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not fair and isn't true.
It's like I was mentioning earlier. Sometimes you stress yourself out by putting these scenarios in that don't exist.
And I can be the anti Ted Lasso. I can become very negative.
Oh,
and Brian was talking about that. I don't know. It's because we're related. If we just have,
I think it's a man
those
thing.
genes or what it is. But I'm like, I got to work on that.
So I was telling you just earlier that I'm trying to be more positive.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned that to Alicia and stuff. And sure enough, I can be very negative. And so she'll remind me like positive thoughts, positive. I'm like trying to think positive, trying to think positive.
Yeah.
But like no, when it does come to cleaning or something, especially with parties, it is already stressful enough.
Right.
But yeah, for me, cleaning it's pretty cathartic. So like when the kitchen's dirty, it doesn't matter what. So in the morning before I even start working, I have to clean the kitchen.
Right.
If it's not clean, I will clean. If I'm actually working from home, I will always get the kitchen clean because I sit at the table and I can see the kitchen.
Yeah.
And if I see it dirty, it's like it does something to me, so I have to clean it.
So and then
it calms me down, and it kind of like I just feel good.
And that part, I think, when you talked about the energy in a house, that's exactly the part I think is very real.
Yeah, no,
not necessarily like the chi is off.
No, and that's not what I mean.
There's chi that can be very like reality based. You know, like you'll see a stack of dirty dishes. It might really irritate you.
Well, I think some of that holds that negativity.
Because your emotions are connected.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not necessarily like radiating this negativity, but you're connecting emotionally to that in that way.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
And you got to ring them bells around your house to make that change.
Dude, I'm not even joking, because I was like really invested in trying to like, you know what? Like I see my house and I'm like, you know what? My house is actually, we keep our house fairly clean.
You do. Yeah. You guys do a great job.
We have pockets of clutter that we hide.
Sure. Well, we all do.
But like for the most part, you walk in our house, our living room's usually pretty clean. Right. Our kitchen's pretty clean. Like there's those areas, the main areas are clean. And so I was just like, okay, I'm trying to look at all that stuff. And then I'm like, so one of the things I did that I read was they say put salt in the corners, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Salt
keep them spirits away.
It's supposed to suck in that negative energy.
Yeah.
And then after a few days, you sweep it up. Well, Larry, our robot, he cleans that shit up for me. So.
Larry's very positive. He has no negative energy.
Although sometimes Larry, that little motherfucker, could be kind of lazy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I got something in my, in my dustbin. I need you to empty. I'm like, fucking Larry.
Oh no, butt crack full of.
Oh no, I'm falling off a cliff. That's usually the thing too. That cracks me up when he says
it's just like flat ground and just like cliff.
Yeah, so he'll go over our like the air vents, right? And if it's just off balance a little bit, he's like, I'm falling off a cliff. It's fucking funny. We're like, what the hell?
Oh,
I actually put we got a bunch of records when we went to Oregon for my niece's 18th birthday this last week, or the week past or whatever. The neighbors always give out shit over there.
Huh.
So they had old records.
Oh wow.
And then it was on a little rolling cart.
Yeah.
So Alicia, when we showed up, she just fucking took that whole ass cart. And we had records in there.
Nice.
And so some of the records are cool. Johnny, he does a lot of sampling with the mixing. So I was like, hey man, I got this record. Do you have this? He's like, no. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this one to you.
Oh, nice.
So he can mix, because he likes to mix like just random things. He just did one with. He loves listening to church.
Okay,
preaching.
Gospel kind of music.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah.
He'll listen to like a preacher preaching like fire and brimstone, the Lord. But he'll
use that
as a sample. He'll mix it in. He just did one. He posted. It's pretty cool.
I have a friend.
But he, some of the stuff he likes to say he listens to, and it cracks him up just because it's like, oh my god.
I have
over the
a
top.
friend years ago. She did that. She had a really cool DJ name. I don't know that she's DJing now, but she was in like DC for a while.
DJ Scribbles.
She was DJ Alchemist.
Okay.
And because her name is Kim. So alchemist, but if you know alchemy,
like
so
medicine
she was doing
and potions
that with music, and she had one cool song. She had like a beat going, and then in one part she put George W. Bush's voice in it, and he was saying something about the Iraq War. It was some comment that he had made, and she was like definitely one of those
anti-war kind of people.
I mean, she was like very peace,
Rage Against the Machine,
modern hippie girl.
Yeah, that's Rage Against the Machine type people.
I mean, she is a very like cool person, but just kind of like extreme in that, and it was pretty cool. I listened to it and I was like, man, that's really neat. And she was like doing like the whole club scene and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
So I don't know. I haven't seen her in a few years now. She came back. I saw her at a wedding.
Was she DJing it?
No, she wasn't, and I don't think she was DJing actively at that time, if I remember.
There's that.
She was kind of moving on to other things, but yeah, she worked for PETA for a while.
That's cool.
She was like super into that stuff. I was like, man, that's cool.
I mean, to give yourself to like those.
Yeah, I mean, she lived her values, like she was very sweet. She wasn't like hitting you over the head with it, but she
was humble about
all the time.
Yeah.
And it was cool. But yeah, it was good. I wasn't going to talk about that, but sometimes seeing old friends.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, my good friend Bree, she got married. I forget how many years ago it was now. That was the last time I saw this. Like, not all of my college friends, but like I'm not good at staying in touch with people. I'm not on Facebook very much, so I have a ton of friends I care about a lot that I just haven't talked to in years.
Bro.
So if you ever hear this, I still love you guys.
I'm terrible.
But like, it was so cool to see all these people that, you know, like for a while they're kind of like family because you're away and it's all you're just this really tight group of friends that you're spending all your time with. And everybody's like either pregnant or have kids, and everybody was in this like new stage of life where we're all with significant others. And
I feel like those are those chapters in your life. Like this person was in your life for, you know, chapters 7 through 15.
Right.
And now that new chapter's turned, and, you know, you might not be in touch with them. Like I have like my friend Mike that all through probably middle school up, even when I graduated, like we were best friends.
Yeah.
But life takes you one way, takes that guy that way.
Right.
And it's not necessarily you're still not friends. Like, but we ran, like, I want to say a few years back, me and him actually met up at a Zips and just kind of like caught up after 20 something years.
Right.
And it's something cool about it, you know, like that you can just, after all that time, still talk and still.
Well, that's like me and Levi. We probably hang out like once a year.
Yeah.
We always say we're going to hang out more, and we never do. But every time we get back together, it's like no time's passed. So
that's when you know you have a good friend like that.
You have those friends in your life that you had that whole life experience with.
That's cool.
You know, like Levi and I were buddies since 4th grade.
That's crazy.
You know, and like solid friends. We had like falling outs here and there as like little kids because I don't know, kids are stupid.
Oh man, you ate my cookies.
Right. I mean, it's just like you weren't nice to me, so I hate you. And then you're
20
over
minutes
in,
later,
like,
you're
2
back
days or whatever. So yeah, we've been just good buds forever and went through all of like childhood together.
I wish I would have had a friend like that where I'd like, man, me and him been friends.
See, we never moved
since preschool.
Right. We never moved. Like you had to move around a few times. So that makes it harder. But
I think
and then you and I think, have that kind of friendship just because as adults, we don't have like experiences from growing up.
Yeah.
But the shared family thing, I mean, that for us has kind of,
for sure,
like built a friendship.
Alicia, so yesterday we went to the gym before we went over to go help out.
Yeah.
And Alicia ran into a friend that she's been friends with since Leo was like a year old.
Wow.
And her son was a year old, her friend Kylia. And they ran into each other, and, you know, and it's kind of like you and Levi. Periodically, they would see each other, and it would always be like at a store.
Like
oh, let's catch up sometime. Okay, we'll catch up. Never.
Right.
And then, but so yesterday they actually, like, you know, obviously she was at the gym working out with us that day, and and then Alicia and her just started talking on text, and then so they went to dinner yesterday to kind of just kind of catch up and stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought that's cool.
Cool.
I wish I don't have any friends like that live around here where I'm like,
right.
Dude,
Geographically, it's hard.
Like, you know, my buddy Nick, and my buddy Efren, they're kind of, you guys are like my closest friends.
Yeah.
Where, you know, like I see Nick pretty often just because we work together.
Right.
And then Efren, I don't see very often, but when I do, it's just like, you know, just like you said, you just start talking again like normal, like nothing.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. My brother last night was saying, like, Jesse should come hang out with us one of these times.
I would hang out with your brother.
Sure.
Your brother's cool as hell.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's funny.
He's hilarious, man.
He cracks me up. He's
a good guy.
Yeah. He's a state trooper with a sense of humor.
I know. Yeah, I thought about him when I was watching that movie yesterday where that kid had to tease him. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. The state trooper tells the mom. Oh, that's too bad. That's
so
what he said.
Funny
That's
with the
too
kids
bad.
all the time. My brother will do the what's that? The gritty or whatever.
Oh, let's go.
He does that to the kids when he's dropping them off at school and stuff, just to embarrass them.
Oh, that's great.
Oh man.
But cool.
Yeah, that's about all I got.
That's all I got.
It's been good to be back. It's been every once in a while we miss a week. We try to do it every week.
I don't think anything's coming up where we're gonna. I don't know.
Yeah, we should be good.
I don't know.
We should be good. Sometimes you have to run off to Oregon. That is what it is. But
October 13th, I'll probably be going to Oregon for a week. But I'm going to try to do the podcast that morning. So
yeah, all right.
I'm not going to be missing
No
much.
worries.
Because usually I won't leave until about 3 is my I'm going to get out of town.
Yeah. Let's face it. I'm sure there's weeks where you guys need a break from us.
Nope. They miss us.
We don't do it like a seasonal hiatus. We just do it randomly. So you never know, get something.
We're on season 44.
Yeah. Dude, we're on season 7, episode 15.
That's crazy.
How many episodes do we do a season?
Was it 20?
Maybe. Yeah. So we're almost on season 8. We have 5 more episodes before we're season 8.
That's crazy.
Man.
I know. I lost track when I was doing I would do the thumbnails for YouTube or something.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I don't remember what episode this was. And so one of the episodes, it might say
wrong.
episode 9, but really it's episode 12.
Hey, whatever.
So I actually started to remove. I removed it for a couple weeks, and then I think Brian's episode or something. I was finally seen. Okay. Let me add that back.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode. And I mean, hey, go see Speak No Evil. Watch Ted Lasso.
Watch Ted Lasso. Be kind to yourself and others.
Yeah. Ring them bells and get that energy up in your house. Throw some salt in the corner.
I think it's Suicide Awareness Month and everything. So
we've talked about that in the past. Yeah.
So the month of September, I want to say it's that. So just, if you're having any of, negative thoughts or you just need someone to talk to, I mean, reach out. And if you have loved ones that you haven't spoke to in a while, maybe reach out to see how they're doing.
Just know that you are loved. And whether you know it or not, you matter.
Someone cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Call the hotline. I wish I looked back at my notes to see if it was this
811 or something like that. Wait, no, that's the digging hotline.
Yeah. Just call. You can Google it. Everybody has cell phones. Google it. You can talk to somebody right away. Don't start drinking and stuff if you're feeling that way, because that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
Get yourself out in the world.
Trust me. When I was drinking a lot, it actually made. I noticed a change when I went from. I would drink a lot and I was very in this dark place in my head, and I just hated me, and I would always. And I've said that before. And these guys know, I would just down talk myself bad. And then once I stopped drinking, I noticed that I'm like, okay, I got more accepting. Okay, I gotta love me. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So don't turn to alcohol or drugs just because it's just gonna take you down even a darker path. Usually,
right?
Is how it is. So if you do, just the 988 is the suicide and crisis lifeline. So you can call or text that and, talk to someone.
Yeah. Hang in there. Life gets better.
Yeah.
If you're in a dark place, the light's just around the corner. It always gets darkest really before the dawn. That good old line from Batman.
Yeah. It's true.
Still love that movie.
It is true.
It's so true. And we've all, we've had those downs. We've had those ups.
I always heard this. I don't know where I heard it from, but it says life's not going to throw something at you that it doesn't think you can handle.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So when it is at one of the toughest moments in your life, just know you're going to get through it. It's just, it's a matter of being, persevering and just kind of you got this, motherfucker.
Right. And don't be afraid to get help.
Yeah.
Everybody needs help sometimes.
Yeah.
Get a little help from your friends. The Beatles said that.
Who?
So, Beatles.
Oh, Beatles.
You gotta get a little help.
Beetlejuice said that. I was like, what?
Yeah, Beatles. Come on, man. You gotta get some help from a friend. I can't do that voice.
You sound like Elvis.
Yeah,
I'm Beetlejuice. Anyway, you guys have a good week.
All right, man. Take it easy. Goodbye.
Yeah. Who says take it easy? What song is that?
Take it easy. Take it easy.